Hello. Okay, good. We are live. How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday again. It is a stunning day where I am. Yesterday it was about 30 degrees and oh, it's 32 in here where I'm sitting right now. Oops, can't see. Um, yeah, it's been a busy week. I hope that you are having an awesome week, whatever it is that you've been doing. So, to cut to the chase, I have told you that I'm doing some travel treasures updates, and this will be the third one so far. So the first week I told you about the haircut and where all that went, um, and talked a little bit about the beginning of the journey through those 9 countries. Sorry, I'm just the dog is scratching. That's because you've been rolling around in the grass, so like the animals. Um, and This one, so that was the first one. Then the second one, I introduced you to all of the beautiful instruments that I got mostly from India, one from literally on a tower from the Great Wall of China. And this week, I wanted to talk to you about all of the beautiful artwork that I've gathered. So it's been a big week. I think I've like used my quarter of words. Does anyone else feel like that sometimes? Where it's just been a long busy week, and obviously I'm client facing like all the time, and so I'm just like yeah, and sometimes I just like to say less, but anyway, not today, not now, because I have to show you the stuff. So where can I start? Actually, I the main reason I'm doing this one now, the artwork, is because I have it in a pile. Whereas the other treasures that I'm going to talk to you about, which is like clothing, various beautiful pieces of jewelry, other trinkets, whatever else I can't even think right now. Books. That's right, I got some beautiful books as well. And I carried all this on my back. Now, the biggest problem I'm having is framing it. So it's all in a pile like under the bed, which is not excellent for it. And I've got two gorgeous pieces of artwork that I'm about to show you that's been sitting under the bed for about a year and a half now, that I got from the Angkor Wat temple in Cambodia. And they're under there because I went and got some quotes for getting them framed, and it was going to be like $600, maybe. I think it was for each of them, and I was like, this artist spent, I think he said 2 weeks on each of these, and he put his like heart and soul into it, obviously. And so I ended up getting two of them because I couldn't decide which one I liked the best. And I just feel like when I think these cost me roughly 80 New Zealand dollars, and then the framing is going to be 600, and I feel like it's just such an insult to the artist. Like, it's so unreasonable. So I'm really searching for some advice if anyone knows any framer or has any ideas on how I could frame these, because they're pretty odd sizes. But anyway, I will show you probably my absolute favorite one first. Oil paint, I believe. Gorgeous detail. And do you know, funnily enough, the reason I ended up getting this was, if you've ever been to Cambodia, it's, they've had a rough time in the last wee while, and heavily relying on tourism, and that makes sense. But like literally everywhere you go, they're like, a lot of them are like flies. If you get off like a tourist bus or something, they will just stick to you and try to sell you stuff, and it's really heartbreaking because they get little kids to do it and you're not supposed to buy from them. And so anyway, this guy was walking around the actual Angkor Wat temple with these draped over his arm, and he said, "Do you want a piece of art?" And I said, "No." You just get used to saying no, and it feels really horrible, but you do. And he basically was just like, "This is just a tip for anyone." He was basically just like, "Okay," and he walked away, and I was like, oh, hang on, like, 'cause you just don't want to be pressured into anything, right? So I chased him, and yeah, I was umming and ahhing. I was on a bit of a budget back then, and I was like, oh, I don't know about getting two, but God, I do not. You just don't regret this kind of stuff. So this is the second one. Beautiful image of the Angkor Wat Temple. But you see, it's quite a difficult size to frame. It's on canvas, and you know, I get a bit worried about it cracking. It hasn't yet, so it's withstood various New Zealand seasons. Beautifully detailed, beautifully layered. What does that say down there? Must be his name. I can't quite make it up, but it says Cambodia anyway. So please, if anyone has any ideas on how I can frame these beautiful pieces of art, please let me know, because I'm sick of them wasting their beautiful life just under the bed because I don't know how else to do it. So that was from the trip a year and a half ago. And now I'm going to show you the bits of art that I got this time. So I'm going to start with this. This is so beautiful and vibrant. And this one I got from Chef Shawan, which is in Morocco. And prior to going to this place, I'd actually never even really heard of it. I just knew that I wanted to go to Morocco. And there were various things that I wanted to see and do in different parts, and doing a camp in the Sahara Desert in the Moroccan part was one of those things. And going through the Atlas Mountains and far out, it is absolutely stunning. Like, that country has so much to offer, so much precious like history and culture, but the resources there are incredible. So if you Google Chef Shawan, then you'll see why this image is so vibrant, because the whole place looks exactly like this. The brightest, bluest that you could imagine. And the other reason I chose this piece of artwork was the little black cat here. So I have a little rescue cat, and he's black and he looks a little bit like that. But in Morocco, there are tens, if not hundreds of thousands, millions probably, of cats that just live on the streets. They are everywhere. Like, I can't even begin to describe how many cats there are. And they're tiny, some of them are really malnourished, but the thing that's really beautiful is that all of the people love and respect the cats, and they will do their best to feed them and look after them as best as they can. And so I thought this was a really good representation of that. And this is the artist's name, which again I can't make out anymore. But I have like photos of these artists, and I have selfies with these artists and stuff, so I can remember and, you know, share that information. But this is another, and I believe it's another oil painting on canvas. Oh, that might not be oil, actually, it's a bit drier. Not too sure. It was extremely hot in Chefchaouen in Morocco. If you've never been, I highly suggest that you do. So again, something else that needs framing, please help me. So vibrant and beautiful. Okay, I actually kind of feel like I'm missing a few things here, but I'll now take you to, I didn't get art everywhere that I went. I got various other things, like this whole bracelet is full and all that sort of stuff. I did get, apologies for the blowflies, it's really hot and I have the door open and it's the country, so they come in and that's really annoying. That's what you can probably hear. Anywho, this here is, I'm going to be a little bit rusty on what some of their meanings are, because again, these are pieces of art that I'm only seeing for the second or third time since I actually got them. I know it is the cat one, Cara, the blue one. Oh, there we are. Yeah, they all are. So I'm also probably going to mess up a little bit of the pronunciations, but I'm taking you to Egypt now. And they have, I've been told by someone here, I've been saying it wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what they were saying there, is called papyrus, which is the very first paper that was ever invented. Now, if you think ancient Egypt, oh my gosh, like, you guys, that I've always wanted to go to Egypt because of the history, and I honestly was just like, oh yeah, I just want to tick like the pyramids off my bucket list. And if you've been following along, you know that I was actually supposed to be going to Kenya and Tanzania, and I last minute changed my mind because my travel doctor was like, you've got to get all of these jabs and take all these drugs and all these precautions, and you're going to walk into all this disease. And I was like, I just don't feel like doing that to my body right now. So I swapped, it was $1,000 decision, but I swapped that booked and paid for tour to go and do the one that I did in Egypt. And Egypt, that was my most favorite place of all of the 33 countries, but I've been to like various places and countries, but of all the places I've been, that sticks out as my absolute favorite. There is something about the like the honesty of that is so rich in history. Oh my god, I would go back in a heartbeat. So I was really taken by that place. It was absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it. Only don't go by yourself though. Like make sure that you join a tour. But absolutely amazing. So what I will actually do, no, I'll do this first. So after going to one of the very many temples of history, we went to what was like one of the longest withstanding galleries of papyrus art. So I picked this one, and I just happened to have this frame. It just had it in the garage. It's not really my favorite, but I really wanted to protect this. And funny I should say that actually, because apparently this paper never ever disintegrates. So that's actually a fun tip. Maybe I should put something else in there. Oh no, nothing else fits in there. Anyway, okay, sorry, distracted. So this is the Tree of Life, and these are that is hieroglyphics. Oh my gosh, see, I told you I'd be rusty. It's an A. I knew that. Hieroglyphics for A. And then they customized it for me for to put my family name. So right down the bottom. So I'm sorry about that reflection there. But that it's got little bits of gold on there, but that is like one of the ancient pieces of Egyptian art. And I absolutely love it. And again, I've got photos and videos of the place where I got it from if anyone is interested in that. So that was really pricey, and I actually found some more artwork, funnily enough, at the airport on my way out. And I have 3 other pieces here, and 4, and they do have a guarantee certificate on the bag, but they were a lot cheaper, and I don't really know why. So this is this one here, again, virus. It's kind of keeping it in its plastic for now. And that's got like Aquarius and Capricorn. And do you know what? Before I went to Egypt, I knew nothing about the history, and my brain was such a sponge, but I was so tired. So I learned everything about everything that I could tell you about it, but it's gone a wee bit rusty because it was a while ago. But this is a famous symbol. Oh my gosh, you know, if I had it on the wall, I would know more. So if you're an Egyptian expert, then you'll know what that is and what that represents. And a lot of the time I buy things on instinct and how they feel, and I just felt that I really liked it. Here's another Tree of Life, just a little bit smaller than the other one and not customized. But I also just loved it. Like, it's just beautiful. Birds, and it's also got the guarantee certificate on the back. And then I got this scene. So I absolutely fell in love with the idea of Isis, and I'm not talking about our modern day one. I'm talking about this goddess here, this one, because she was very, very loyal to her man and the father of her son, Horus. And there's an image of her breastfeeding Horus in one of the temples. And where this struck me so much was because, you know, I'm always asking for answers about where all this like religion stuff have come from. And this is based on a person first. So about when Christian, I'm sorry about going off tangents here. I'm not saying that I'm religious. I'm just telling you the information that I know. But about when the Christians came, you can kind of see how they morphed the Mary Jesus thing. Getting real philosophical here now. But anyway, let me just tell you that I had the most incredible tour guide, and she was just so smart. I just loved her. And anyway, so I just really like this goddess, this one. In fact, I got a little Pandora charm that's about her as well. So that's that. And then that leads me finally to this last one here. So again, they're all on papyrus. They all have certificates. And actually, I could probably show you a bit of the texture here if you're interested. It's like, I don't know, apparently never ever it's going to fade. So this is just a map of, essentially the reason I love this is because I started off up here in Cairo. Like, I'll take it out for the sake of it's not so shiny. Started off, flew into Cairo. I was by myself. It was pretty scary, if I'm honest. I had no idea what to expect. I had a really large flight delay from Morocco via Portugal, via Dubai, and it was a terrible time. But anyway, I had a good rest, and I had a couple of nights there, I think, or one or two. And anyway, so I started here in Cairo. That's where the pyramids are, and then jumped on a cruise boat. Now, I honestly was expecting this boat to be like a hickory wooden thing, and it was like luxury. Like, it had like the TV and air conditioning, and it was super fancy, and oh my god, it was like exceeded my expectations. And I'm extremely thankful for that, because it was on average 40-ish, 42, 45 degrees pretty much every day. And if I wasn't able to escape that, then I would have had exhaustion like I did when I was in Spain. Heat exhaustion. So I had this beautiful cruise ship. Sorry about that finger. I cut myself making salad this morning. I'm gonna take it away. And we cruised all the way down the Nile. Went to Luxor, Aswan, and saw all of these things. You got King Tut here, Tutankhamun. Forgive me. So saw all of this stuff, and then opted to go down to Abu Simbel, and that was something that I wasn't going to do, but I had some really beautiful encouragement from someone that could see that I was really interested in the history, and it was like you had to pay quite a bit to go there, and it was also on the border of Sudan, which was not a very safe place to be, so it was a little bit scary doing that. And again, I do not regret it. That was such an amazing experience going to there as well. So I thought that was pretty important, and I guess that will go somewhere up there on that map there, perhaps. And it's all shiny, and oh my god, it was amazing. So that's my papyrus art, and that's Egypt. I've got lots of other stuff, of course, but what have I got here? Oh, okay. So last week I was telling you about the instruments that I got from India. So I have to slow down sometimes because I've been so many places lately. And I told you I got one piece of artwork, and that was from the boy that was running the store. And he also had this like, he was doing like this community thing where it was kind of like a like less like helping the less fortunate but talented, and they would do their art and then he would bring it into the gallery and then sell it on their behalf, and it was lovely. And so this is that piece that I got from there. And again, you know, there were various meanings, but this one I just liked it because it was yellow. And actually, I didn't even think about it until now. But when I develop my yoga, meditation, breathwork part of my business, it's going to be yellow based. So that worked out really well. So on the inside is a mantra. And that mantra says Om Mani Padme Hum. And I won't tell you what that means. I'll leave you to go and look that up if you wish. Om Mani Padme Hum. And again, I just felt really good about getting this one too. So I can't wait to put that up. And I've got like this little meditation corner over here. And it's all gold and beautiful. And it must have taken a long time to write that. That was not a cheap piece of art, I must say. But again, I'm very thankful that I got it. So that's my piece from India. And what's this? Again, you guys are seeing for the first time. Oh, this is not a piece of art, but there's my quote. If you want to work it out, 2,500. Yeah, I think 2,500 Egyptian pounds is what I believe I paid for that. Wasn't cheap actually, but that's okay because you know it is what it is. So here are the official hieroglyphics, and if you don't know what hieroglyphics is, I guess again I suggest you look it up. It's the letters equal symbols for Egypt in a simple term. So there are all of the symbols here. A is the bird, etc., etc. So I was toying with a few of these when I got my tattoo in India. However, I decided to just go with the strength of that artist there, which was mostly like the Indian Hindu stuff, but he was like a fine artist. So yes, I have another piece of artwork to show you, which is on my back. I'm not going to do that today, but to tie that in, I actually did get the Eye of Horus incorporated into that. It's kind of like a evil eye symbol, and I love that too. So that's what hieroglyphics are. And I also got, this must be my last piece. Where did I put it? Oh, yeah. So this one was hand painted and chosen right in front of us. And I say us because I met up with a friend after all the solo stuff, met up with a friend in Hong Kong, and then we went to Beijing as well. And just went exploring one day and stumbled across this beautiful young woman, super talented. And it said, the sign said, my father was the very first hand artist. So she literally just had this blank piece of paper. It did have these words on it, which translates to as dazzling as the sun and as free as the wind. I googled it. It doesn't really translate perfectly, but that's what was written on the thing, so I will take it. And she just used like the palm of her hand, and then it was framed on top of that, and that was just such a beautiful experience. I've got loads of photos and videos of that too. So that's my little Chinese one, and I also have that in my meditation corner, which is behind you if you're watching it like this. And I suppose like not entirely artwork, but it's still in a frame and going to go on my wall, was a piece of paper that I worked really hard for. If you haven't heard already, it was like the most, like I felt like this was harder than university. It was like severe, like the first place was like Cold Lake boot camp. It was crazy. Like I got up at 4:30 a.m. every single day, and we were going to about 8:30 p.m. every day for 24 days, and it was very, very tiring. So anyway, this is my badge of honor for that. My 200 hours yoga certificate. So I'm a qualified yoga teacher. and now globally registered because I was able to use this. It was a registered school to get the accreditation for that. And I did my first class last week, which was very cool. And then from there, and I'm so glad that I ended up at this place because I didn't have a great experience, if I'm honest, with the first one. It wasn't even that. If you read that, the name of that place was not actually, that's a different story. But thankfully, I ended up on a very high note when I went to this place, Vinyasa Yoga Ashram, and did I guess it was like post-grad in pre and postnatal yoga teacher training. So I did that because I feel like, women get so like, I guess, left behind. Like you'd have the baby and then it's about the baby, but like, what about her pelvic floor and like preparation and after and all that sort of stuff? So that it just kind of stuck out to me. It was just like an option to take. And I just had the most amazing experience with everyone and everything to do with that school. The food was amazing, the vibe was amazing, the energy was amazing, all the fellow students were amazing, the teachers, everything. So I highly, 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 highly recommend this place. If you ever want to go to Rishikesh, India to study yoga, Vinyasa Yoga Ashram. I know they have not paid me to say that. I just genuinely love these guys. So this was my happy badge of honor as well. So that's going to go up on the wall in the office as well. So yeah, that wraps up my artwork, and my next dilemma is just to have it framed and then find places in the house that it can go. So if you know anyone who does any framing, please will you let me know or give me a reference or anything. I need a quote. It needs to go on the wall. I don't want to pay $600. It's like, it just doesn't feel right. It's just ridiculous in my opinion. So I shall leave you with that. And next week, I'm not sure what I'm going to talk to you about. I have maybe clothes, maybe jewelry. I don't know. We'll see how we go. But in the meantime, I needed to remind you, well, not actually remind you, but if you have been wanting some personal training, I have a really well-established position now where I'm contracting, like renting space in a gym in North Canterbury, and I also do it in the city. So if you want that service, then please, you know where to find me. Holla. Nutrition, as you all know. And then I'm kind of, at the moment, gathering a list of people who have shown interest in yoga and breath work. And if you have never tried it, don't knock it until you do. The reason I did it is because I wanted to not breach. I wanted to bridge the gap between the Eastern yogi way of thinking and our really stressed out Western lives. And like, it's not a badge of honor to be so stressed all the time. It is causing you unhealth. It is killing you. So you've got to calm your nervous system. You have to look after your body because it will catch up with you. And that was what my purpose was. I wanted to go to India to learn it from the absolute core of where yoga was born and get all that experience. And yes, I absolutely did that. And then with that education and knowledge, I'm hopefully able to help de-stress and just get your body systems back in sync so that you can actually be properly healthy. So that was my goal. So if you are interested in attending one of my yoga classes, then message me or write your name somewhere. I do have a list. So if you've already mentioned it and I've already acknowledged it, then I already have your name. And once I get maybe 15 or so people, then I will rent the space and run a class. And I'm excited because the first one went really well. So I'll leave you with that now. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you found this really interesting. If you have any questions about any of the artwork or any of the places that I've been, or you want PT, nutrition, yoga, etc., then you know where to find me. And I will see you same time next week. Bye for now.